Hi, it's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. We're in New York City. We're actually like right around Times Square, which is really incredible. So much fun. We have a lot to catch up on, so I'm just gonna yap in your ear for a little bit. That's cool. I've been in New York for a few days now. I was here for work, of course. I feel like that's the only reason I travel anymore. And let me see, I guess let me start at the beginning. I have my notes because it's like almost 9 o'clock and I've been traveling and working all day and I'm so tired. Okay, so before I start anything, this video is very kindly sponsored by the universe, because she has been with me every single stop on this crazy ride so far. Yeah, this whole trip has been just a lesson in like just letting go, releasing control, trusting that what is going to be and it's all fine. And actually it's been really great because like I couldn't have planned a lot of the things about this trip any better, and really looking forward to tomorrow because it's my day off. During this little trip I've been, let's talk about it. I did a tarot reading earlier this year, and I can't remember the specifics of it, but one of the things I asked my deck was like, what do I need to focus on this year? What do I need to like embody? What is my inspiration? What is my muse? Like as I'm stepping into this like new decade and, you know, this just like new shift of mentality of life and like what it means to live a good life and yada, yada, yada. And the card I pulled was the Fool. Now, if you're not super familiar with tarot, I feel like the Fool is very recognizable. I feel like it's one of the more popular ones, probably with like Death in the Tower. I guess like in short, it usually represents like, I mean, it's a fool, right? So like foolishness or like recklessness or foolhardiness or, you know, leaping before you look, that kind of thing. But for me, as someone who's like just been like, I'm an eldest daughter Capricorn, like I am who I am. But it was just such a just, I don't even know. It was like the heavens parted and I was like, I get it now. I understand. I need to embrace the Fool. I need to embrace being a fool in the best way possible. So I'm trying to like book some fun things just for myself when I'm on these work trips. You'll have seen hopefully by now that I went to Orlando with my best friend. That was for a work trip, but we carved out some time for us to go to Galaxy's Edge at Disney World and just play, which was so much fun. So much fun. So long story short, this time around, I embraced the Fool and I took a day after this, you know, the work part of the work trip ended. And we're going to play tomorrow. We're going to walk around New York City. I have a couple stops I want to make. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to take you along with me if that's okay. And we're just going to walk. We're going to wander. And it's all good. But I guess to round us back, I'm embracing the Fool. And in doing so, I have to embrace that I can't control everything. And I have to release some of that control. And along with it, like fear, right? And that's where Miss Universe steps in. So I guess first things first, I guess we can start at the beginning and then I can just like edit around this. So we may have talked about this before. I do not like planes. I will get on a plane if I absolutely have to, but I definitely have a pretty big fear of them. And everything going on with, it's March 2026, just like the airports, the TSA agents not being paid and not being respected, honestly, by our federal government, labor strains and just the chaos that it is ensuing. I had this trip pop up in my calendar a little last minute and decided like, if I don't have to get on a plane, I'm not going to, which was very serendipitous because then I'm not going to drive to New York City. That's crazy. That's like 13 hours in a car that I would be driving. That's crazy. Thankfully, the Amtrak has a route that goes from Charlotte to New York City directly. I say directly. It is directly. You don't have to hop planes. You don't have to hop trains. It has a couple stops along the way, and it's 13 hours too. But it's 13 hours that you're just like hanging out and eating and like watching the scenery go by. And like, spoiler alert, it was a wonderful ride. Yes. And then I have a few honorable mentions that I need to get out of the way before we chit chat about the rest of my stay here. 3 angels, absolute angels that I have to shout out as honorable mentions in this video before we go any further. Number 1, Nahid from Lyft. I am not a city girl. I love cities, but I don't live in one regularly, and New York City is a beast of its own. So I got off the train at Penn Station, very cool, very overwhelmed immediately as soon as I stepped out into the streets of New York. I understand how the grid system works. Okay, I get it.
It's a grid system, mother. Where you at? 24th and 5th? Where you want to go? 35th and 6th? 11 up and 1 over, you simple bitch.
But like, when I'm overstimulated and I'm very tired, I get a little confused. I think anybody would. So I needed to get a ride to Long Island. I was not about to figure out the LIRR, the Long Island Railroad. Wish I could have. I think it would have been a great experience, but I was like, we're not dealing with that. I have 3 bags. I'm tired. I just want to get up there. Whatever. My coworker was supposed to pick me up, overshot Manhattan, told him not to turn around. I was like, it's not gonna be worth it. So Lyft. So I hail a Lyft. Nahid is my ride, and bless him, he's like, I'm here. And I'm like, well, I'm here and I don't see you. So it turns out he was a block up, and he's like, meet me on 24th. And I'm like, I'm on 23rd and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I started walking that way, then I walked in a circle. I've got taxi drivers yelling at me. I'm like, oh my God. This man. And I was like, please don't cancel the ride. But like, honestly, if you did, I would totally understand. This man drove around a whole block just for me, a stranger. Drove around a whole block. Once I saw him moving, I was able to kind of figure out where I was, because like I was just discombobulated. Okay, it was a low moment for me. Met up with him, hopped in his car, which also I think I've only had a Tesla as my Lyft one other time, and I was so tickled that Nahid drives a Tesla. So hopped in his car. He was so nice. He had no reason to like continue with the ride. Like, I was being such a pain in the ass, like, respectfully, of course. I'm a very nice person, but I was being a total mess. And he took me to Long Island. That's like an hour. It was like an hour and 20-minute drive. And I was just so grateful. It was like such a smooth ride. I was so nervous because I'm like, New York is notorious for a lot of things, but the way the people drive through the city is one thing. It was so calm. He was so nice. It was so quiet. We had a little bit of conversation, and then we just did our own thing. And I got there safe. It was wonderful. He was great. Nahid, you're a real one. Second angel. Obviously, I was in Long Island. Need to get back to Manhattan somehow. So, again, considered the Long Island Railroad. Kind of freaked me out a little bit, though, I'm not going to lie. My coworker could take me down this time. Didn't really want to do that, I'll be honest with you. And so then my option was to try and get another lift. But I'm like, it's one thing to go from Manhattan to Long Island. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find another Nahi going from Long Island to Manhattan. Maybe I would have. I don't know. I didn't have to worry about it. Ari was a PA with work this week. It was a photo shoot, so she was a PA for us. First time meeting her. Angel. Light from heaven. Angelic creature. Literally iconic. She and I were just like yapping today, which was the last day. And I was like, where are you from? Where's home for you? Are you up here this way? Because a lot of our coworkers were, or a lot of our crew were. And she's like, no, I live in the city. And I was like, oh, girl, do you? So she lives in Brooklyn, which is like not far from Manhattan, like really, but it was a little bit of a drive. But anyway, she very kindly offered to take me at least part of the way to my hotel here in Times Square. We had the best time. We were just like on the same wavelength, on the same frequency. She was so sweet. The drive down was wonderful. We literally yapped the entire hour in like 15 minutes, and she was wonderful. So she didn't have to like go out of her way to like take me back down to the city. So I'm so grateful for her. Ari, you're just the best. Thank you so much. And then, I was able to get a lift from her place over here, which was just like so much less stressful because like I was like, there's gonna be a plethora of ways for me to get, to where I'm going next at this point. And I guess third honorable mention, he is a true honorable mention. I'm staying at a Citizen M. I may have already mentioned that. I stayed in one of these for the first time in Boston last year, which you may or may not remember. I don't know if I've posted that video. I love it. I love Citizen M's. They are so cozy. It's just enough space for me. It's cute. It's like very eclectic. And I've never had a bad experience, even though this is only my second one. And it continues to be that way. So I checked in and basically was checked in by this guy, Josh. I think his name is Josh. I hope his name is Josh. I'm so sorry if your name's not Josh. I think that's right. And, I'll have to reconnect to that later. So Josh checks me in and I have my stationery bag with me, and he's like, let me guess who you are, what you do. And he's like, and then he kind of paused for a minute, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, who do you think I am? Like, what do you think my vocation is? I'm so excited by like my stationery bag. And he's like, are you like a costume designer? And I was like, oh my God, I'm honored. I'm like, no, this is actually my go bag for my journals. And so we were like just yapping a little bit back and forth. So then we were yapping. We're just talking about journaling, talking about my bag, talking about my trip. And he's like, this might be a humble brag, but he's like, I have been told I have a really beautiful signature, because we were just talking about like calligraphy, journaling. And I was like, oh, I'm like, that's really cool. And then this man proceeds to give me a lore drop that like, who knows, he could have been bullshitting me, but I'm going to choose to believe that he was totally being 100% genuine, because like, I don't know how anyone would make this up. But he's like, yeah, my signature is very like elegant, very loopy, very cursive. And he's like, I was for a time a like signature writer for the Disney princesses on the Disney cruises. I was like, sir, that's the best lore drop I've ever gotten from a stranger. Anyway, Josh, you're a real one. Thank you for being so kind to me after such a long day. You really like helped round out a really nice day traveling back to the city. So thank you. Okay, those are our honorable mentions. What else did I want to catch up with you guys on? Yeah, I guess what's next? So we're going to be running around the city tomorrow. I hope you're okay with that. There's a couple shops I want to check out. There's a couple bookstores, stationery store. Ari gave me a recommendation for some bagels in the morning, and there's a couple coffee shops I might want to go sneak into. So really my plan is just to like continue to just wander and not plan too much, but I did kind of look ahead to see like what routes I would need to take and all the things. I don't think we're going to be hopping on the subway. I'm not going to lie to you. I will probably get trapped. So that's the plan for tomorrow. The plan for tonight, it's already probably like a little past 9:00. Maybe we're inching towards 9:30 now. I'm just going to bed. I think I'm going to read. I had Cindy on with Cindy. adore her, just have like some YouTube on. I'll probably put that back on for some noise. I'm like ready for bed. I think I'm just gonna get cozy, and then yeah, I'll wake up when I wake up tomorrow. I'm not in a rush, which is like such a nice feeling. I've been like, you know, on a schedule the past couple days, and so it's kind of nice to just be like, I'm gonna go at my own pace tomorrow. And like, if I'm up and ready to roll, I'm up and ready to roll. If I need to sleep in a little bit, I need to sleep in a little bit. Like, we're good, we're gravy, we're groovy. So yeah, if I didn't say it already, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. We're gonna have some fun tomorrow. I hope you're cool hanging around and sticking with me. And yeah, I will see you in the morning. Yeah? Okay. Hi. Oh, let me fix that. Hold on. Okay, I think that's slightly better. I didn't get a shot of the fit for the city today, and I think that's a shame. So I'm back now. This is me post stomping Broadway and Fifth for like 6 hours. So I was a little bit fresher before, but like I feel like the fit needed a moment. I just have like little my legs hurt. I just have little like baggy pants, and I just had my Hokas, which I think they're dead. I think this was their last moment with me. I thought they were dead during the earlier part of this trip, and now I know for sure they're dead. R.I.P. You're a real one, Hoka. And that's it for now. I'm gonna change. I just wanted to show you because I thought, come on. It's so cute. I just wanted a moment for the fit, and then I was gonna rip it off and just like rinse because I'm so sweaty and full of like city grime. And then we'll catch up, okay? Because it was a great day. You already saw, but it was a great day. Okay, I'll see you in a minute.
Several days later.
Hello. Apologies if I'm a little spacey and sleepy. It is a spaced out, sleepy sort of day. It's been raining literally nonstop since last night. And I've been home almost a full 2 days now from my trip to New York. So I am steeping some black tea, which will hopefully perk me up a little bit. But in the meantime, I wanted to do a little haul and show you some of the things that I picked up when I was running around Manhattan and Soho. So here we go. So I had a few places I definitely wanted to check out while I was running around the city. And I think just to start, I'm going to start with, the one that I was most excited for, which was Nico Neko, which is the cutest little stationery store, down in Soho. They also have another location in Brooklyn, and I will absolutely be adding that to my list of places to check out the next time I go up to the city. But Nico Neko in their Soho location, so cute. It is the most charming, eclectic, quaint, just so cute little stationery store. It blew me away. It was my most anticipated stop on my little solo day, and it definitely did not disappoint. So I picked up a few things. I will say the one thing that I was most interested in buying at Nico Neko was some ink for my fountain pens. And they did have ink, but they had more colorful ink, and I was looking for something a little bit more basic. So that was like an interesting, not letdown, but just like a pivot. But where they didn't have ink, the other thing I really wanted to look for, and I actually was going to go to another store to get them, was some rubber stamps. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that they had like a whole wall of just rubber stamps, and they are the cutest stamps. So picked up a few. Of course, they're all cat themed. Come on, obviously. So I picked up 3 stamps, and I'll try to show you them. I may have to do a close-up later, but I picked up this one stamp of just a cat with a little mouse with some books. I picked up this stamp, which has 2 cats and a really big cup of coffee. So cute. And then the last one is my favorite, I think. It's just a little cat watering a little flower. I was so tempted just to buy every single cat stamp they had, but I limited myself to just a few, and just the few that like really resonated with my soul. So these were such a charming, delightful find. So pleasantly surprised. Let's see. So yeah, Nico Henko, designed by Pottering Cat Company out of Tokyo, Japan. So I will definitely be keeping an eye out for more of these in the future. I only have a few rubber stamps in my collection. I used to have tons of rubber stamps growing up, and I've definitely been wanting to implement more of them in my stationery practice. They're just delightful, and they're just a really nice alternative to like sketching something or stickers. And yeah, these are just the cutest thing. So picked up a few of those. I also picked up a postcard. This design is Aiko Fukawa, Eiko Fukawa. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I will fix myself in the edit later if I am not. But I picked up this really sweet and charming illustration of just two cats in the rain. I think I'm going to put it in my hobonichi as like a page filler or something. It's just very sweet. So love her, and I love the little 4-leaf clover that the one cat has. So this might be my like March page break filler. And then I picked up a few more things. I picked up a sticker that they had of the store. This very beautiful little illustration. I think, is it watercolor? It kind of gives off a watercolor vibe, but a little illustration of the store itself. And then they had the sticker of a cat, and it says creativity requires rest. And I thought it was poignant and also just very charming. So haven't decided where I'm going to put these stickers yet. So they're just going to be in my sticker book, and I'll find a home for them at some point. But yeah, Nico Neko, 10 out of 10. Very, very charming little stationery store. So then let me just, oh my gosh, there were 2 other things that I picked up, and I can't believe I forgot about them, but they were on my traveler's journal. So I also picked up these itty bitty, I'm just going to leave them on here for size. This is the passport size, but these itty bitty little pens. The one's a pencil, actually. It's like a 0.5, I think. And then the other one's a pen. And it's so funny. I wasn't even looking for something like this, but I was thinking like, I don't have a pen that fits kind of how I envision and how I like envision my traveler's journal, but also how I use my traveler's journal. They're always just like too big, too bulky. They don't stay on. And then I think I did like 6 laps around Nico Neko. It's not a very large store, so it's just, and there's always something that you might have missed on the first go around, so it's worth doing it a couple times. And yeah, on my like 5th turn around the store, I saw these itty bitty little pens, and I'm like, that's perfect. So yeah, they're now on my traveler's journal, and just very delighted. I can't believe I almost forgot about those. So that was my trip to Nico Neko. I also went to 2 bookstores. There were so many bookstores in New York City, and I wish I could have hit them all, but I had to prioritize. So I went to McNally Jackson Books, and then I went to the Strand. So McNally Jackson I hit first. It was like right after well, let me back up. McNally Jackson Books was the one I hit first, and I kind of walked into it thinking the Strand was going to be my favorite. I know it's very like sort of touristy and commercialized, but you know, it is the Strand. But McNally Jackson, I think, was my favorite of the 2. I loved how it was laid out. I loved that it had a little nook upstairs. And I also loved that they have a publishing arm called McNally Editions. So I wanted to make the most of my time since I only had one day. So I did look up their website before I went down there and decided that I wanted to pick up one of the books that they've published because I thought that would be a really cool souvenir and a really nice tie back to the store itself. So I read a couple of the titles. I ended up going with The Way to Kolonos, which is a retelling of 3 Sophocles tales. So it seems really interesting. It has retold the stories of Antigone, of Electra, and then a story with Philoctetes, Greek. So yeah, I'm just really intrigued. It sounds really interesting, and I love a good retelling, and I love Greek mythology, so it should be pretty good. And then I was only planning to pick up one book, but I was strolling around the shelves, and in their like graphic novel section, they had a little staff recs area, and this title caught my eye, and I also was convinced by the staff recommendation. I wish I remembered exactly what it said, but this is St. Catherine by Anna Meyer, and essentially the story revolves around Catherine, who is, you know, Irish Catholic. She's never missed a Sunday Mass in her life, and I guess as the story goes, she decides to skip a Sunday Mass for the first time ever, and I think she gets possessed by a demon. So I'm a sucker for a redhead with religious trauma. So I'm pretty excited to check this one out. That was a delightful little extra find. And then, of course, I did hit up the Strand as well. And I think a little bit of context for the book that I chose from the Strand. So one of my creature comforts during the holiday season is a cute little short series on Netflix called Dash and Lily. If you've never heard of it, it's very charming. It's very sweet. It's about these two, I think they're in high school. I think they're like seniors in high school, called Dash and Lily. And Lily essentially wants to meet people. She's very introverted. She doesn't make friends very easily. So she leaves a notebook in the Strand, and just so happens that Dash picks it up, and she's left like some challenges for him. And then he writes back to her, and they use this journal to like write back and forth, get to know each other, get to know themselves. It's very sweet. It's very cute during the holidays. And so I watch it every year. And I thought it would be so cool if I found the book that the TV show is based out of at the Strand. So that's exactly what I did. So the TV show is based off of Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. So that's what I picked up. It felt very like a very meta full circle moment to find this. And the only other thing I picked up at the Strand was I did get a little leather notebook that had some cats on it with the Strand. It's got these little fringes. It's not leather, I guess. I'm not really sure what it is. It feels like leather though. So yeah, picked up this book. So 3 books, which I think is pretty good for me. Normally I pick up a lot more. So I really reined it in on this one. The last place I went that I picked up things was Glossier. I'm not a huge makeup girl, but Glossier has been one of those brands that has just always had a soft spot in my heart. Boy Brow is my number one girl. But when I travel and if I happen to be in a city where Glossier has a flagship store, I love to pop in. They style all of their stores sort of in the essence of the city that it's in. There's always a cute little nook just for taking selfies, which I really appreciate. And everyone's always so sweet, and you get to kind of look at all of the like location exclusive merch and just their merch in general in person, which is really nice. So I had never been to their New York City flagship, which I think is like the flagship store. And it was so nice. So I picked up a few things while I was in there. So I did get myself a travel size of the new fragrance Glossier Soy, which I think is how it's pronounced. I admittedly wore Glossier You for many years. Then when Glossier Fleur came out like a year or so ago, how long has Glossier Fleur been out? That's my go-to scent. I literally wear it every day. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's the most wonderful scent. But I was intrigued by Glossier Soy as I was following sort of like the speculation about it before it released on Reddit. And I was interested to see how it would smell, because some of the other Glossier scents like do not smell good to me at all. Like I've tried them in the stores and I just don't like them. But this one was interesting. So I think I wrote down the scent notes that it has. It definitely has bergamot. That's like the first thing I smelled when I smelled it. I'm very sensitive to bergamot. I'm not really sure why. And normally I don't like the way it smells on me, but I don't really mind it in this formulation. So I'm not really sure what they did with that, but it's the only bergamot scented thing I've ever worn and not hated. One of the girlies on the Glossier Reddit described this scent as someone... My brain. Oh my gosh. The best way I could describe this scent is going to be borrowed off of someone who left this comment in the Glossier subreddit describing this scent. So it's perfect for the girlies who are sun-kissed and summery, but also a little feral. And I have to agree with that. There's just something about it that's very interesting. And it definitely smells a lot different on the scent card than on your skin, which makes sense, but definitely a very happy surprise that I liked it when I put it on. So I got the travel size. I think that'll be my like summer scent as we walk into that season. The real reason why I went into the store though was because I was very intrigued by the new compact mirror that they released. They have a product in a very similar form factor to this, but it was a like not a liquid. It was like a the word's escaping me right now. I literally have it in my bathroom. I'll show you, but their Glossier U, they had like a sampler basically that was, you could just like rub it on your skin versus spraying it. And I loved the container that it was in. It was just like so ergonomic. It fit in your hand perfectly. And I was like, oh, it'd be so nice if, they sold more products like this. Like if they put like a more solid like bomb.com in that, I would die and go to heaven. So they announced this compact mirror and it's in the same form factor. And I just think it is the cutest thing. It just flips open and then you can check yourself out. There you are. And then it closes super easily. It's very thin. It feels really good. It's very like well made. It feels like, and so it'll be nice to have this and not have to like check myself in like Windows or on my phone. Every girl needs a good compact. And then the last thing I picked up, I already have it on my bag and I'm too lazy to take it off, is the LA exclusive. So it's a little cell phone keychain, and it does flip open and it is another little baby mirror, but I'll be honest, I'm probably going to use the compact more than the mirror function on this guy. I feel like this keychain came out several years ago now and it is an LA exclusive. So, you can't just like get it anywhere. And they happen to have one at the New York City flagship. And it just reminds me of like a little Barbie flip phone. So, she's going to be on my crossbody bag now. She fits like a glove and it was very frivolous and that's fine. It's all it was. So yeah, I think that's the haul of everything I picked up in the city. Yeah. Okay. I think my tea has steeped and that is all I have to share with you. So I guess I'll do this now. Thank you so much for coming along with me on my trip. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed just being in it and filming it. I know I'm going to have such a fun time putting all the footage together and just like reliving the day. It was such a fun time. And yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want to stick around. I'm dabbling into some more travel videos like this, but also dabbling in more like stationery, just like very chill sort of yappy videos. So I'd love to have you stick around if you would like to. But yeah, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And I will see you next time, okay? Okay, take care of yourself.